Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Jayam Vishnupad Paramaham Sabharirajakarya Stotra Shata Simala Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramaham Sabharirajakarya Stotra Shata Simala Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Itai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhirahe Nastapradeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 74, Text 35. So we'll recite Varnashrama Kula Peta Sarva Dharma Bahishkritaha Sarve Vrati Gunarhina Swapriyam Kathamarhati. Varnashrama Kula Peta Sarvadharma Bahiskritaha Swarirvarti Gunarhina Swapriyam Kataharahati. Varnashrama Kulapeta Sarvadharma Bahiskritaha Swarirvarti Gunarpeta Gunarhina Swapriyam Katamarahati. Please chant. Varnashrama Kulapeta Sarvadharma Bahishkritaha Swarirvati Gunarhina Swapariyam Katamarhati. Varnashrama Kulapeta Sarvadharma Bahishkritaha Swarirharti Granina Swapriyam Katamarhati. Varnashrama Kulapeta Swadharma Svarirvarte gunahina Sapriyam katamarhati Varnashrama kulapeta Sarvadharma bahishkritaha Svarirvarte gunahina Saparyam katamarhati. Thank you very much. What word meaning? Varna of the principles of the four occupational orders of society. Ashrama of the four spiritual orders. Kula and of proper family upbringing. Apetaha devoid. Sarva from all. Dharma codes of religious duty. Bahirkritaha executed. Swarir independently. Ratihi behaving. Guna qualities. Hina lacking. Sapriyam worship. Katham how. Arahati deserves. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, Srila Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: how does one who follows no principles of social and spiritual orders or family ethics, who has been executed from all religious duties, who behaves whimsically, and who has no good qualities, how does such a person deserve to be worshipped? Question mark. Purport: Srila Prabhupada comments, actually Krishna does not belong to any caste nor does he have to perform any occupational duty. It is stated in the Vedas that Supreme Lord has nothing to do as his prescribed duty. Whatever has to be done on his behalf is executed by his different energies. Shishupala indirectly praised Krishna by saying that he is not within the jurisdiction of Vedic injunction. This is true because he is a supreme personality of Godhead. That he has no qualities means that Krishna has no material qualities. And because he is the supreme personality of Godhead, he acts independently, not caring for conventions or social or religious principles. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshorulmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna. Here we get overall the Krishna's activity. Srila Shishupal is criticizing Lord Krishna because he was getting first offering that was proposed by Yudhishthir Maharaj. In that context, Shishupal by birth is envious of Lord Krishna. So in this context, he started criticizing Lord Krishna. Yesterday we saw that he is not supposed to offer first offering, and he compared to the crow. A crow is not supposed to offer first offering of rice cake. And today he started another point, raised another point, that he is does not belongs to any varnashrama. He does not belongs to any community or any religious. He does not follow. So whenever Shishupal criticized Lord Krishna, he knows his deadline. His deadline is 100. If he goes beyond 100, his head is going to chopped off. So whenever he criticizes Lord Krishna, he makes sure that he counts it properly. And exactly at 99 he would stop. And again next time whenever he sees Krishna, again he starts. So that's a boon he got from his from Krishna to his mother, Shishupala's mother. So right from the beginning, when Shishupala was took birth, he started criticizing Krishna. So his mother went to Lord Krishna and asked, for forgiveness, and he asked, one boon. He asked a boon. Okay, then Krishna told, so I will spare with him 100. After 100, I will chop off his head. So here, for lesson for us is, if somebody criticize one or two, we will get immediately, you know, we will get immediately back on him. Like we will say, oh, how dare you say this? And you think who I am? And right, if somebody is saying you are a bad person, then immediately we protect and we defend ourselves. But here, being supreme personality of Godhead, maintainer of the whole cosmic manifestation, and he is a controller of entire universe, proprietor, maintainer. And if he is getting criticized, he is as it is not even taken 1 second to kill Shishupal, but he is showing us by example how one should able to tolerate these ups and downs. How can you say this? Being I'm supreme personality of God, I'm Krishna. From me everything comes. I will immediately chop off your head. I immediately kill. He could have done it, but he didn't do that. But he is showing in this material world, whoever comes, may he have to undergo these kinds of you know issues, these kinds of turbulences, these kinds of problems. Everybody is being criticized, even Supreme Personality Godhead. He doesn't violate the material laws, he also follows. For him, he is showing by example for all of human beings that even though you may be qualified, you may be capable of doing Herculean task or big task, you are your capacity is beyond like ordinary human being, but still you'll be get criticized when you come this material world. So nature of this material world to pull down somebody who is in position, who is in higher position. I'll give you one small analogy. It was a museum. In the museum, there kept different types of bugs, insects, worms, and different types of entities. So a person walks in that he observes all different kinds of insects, all different kinds of flyer, all different kinds of no, what do you say, bugs, and everything is looking nice. And when he comes to the one last thing, there was a few insects put it in that jar, and the jar lid was not closed. And whereas other things, other insects, other bugs, other flies, they were properly closed, properly covered. Like how you go to the zoo, we see that everything is protected, animals are being protected because they are being covered. So this particular insects is being not protected and not being covered. So person asked the in charge of the museum, and he's asking, you protected everything to coming out the insects, like when basically you put the insects in a jar or in a covered, you make sure that it is covered, it doesn't go out of the cage or whatever. So this particular insects entity, these were not covered, and he asked, why you have not covered or protected these particular insects? Then the person asked, see, these insects got special nature. Whenever one insect is going out, another insect is pulled down. It doesn't allow another insect to go out of the jar. So you understand the point. Whenever one insect is going out, tries to go out, immediately another insect sees and it pulls its leg, and it naturally comes down. In that way, no insect is going out. So that's the reason he did not cover. So exactly the nature of this material world is like that. If somebody is seeing higher position, immediately they try to pull down, even though he may not be your enemy, even though you are not his belonging, or even though you does not belong to his community or nation. But the nature of the mind, the nature of the people, how I can pull him down from that position. So we get this nature from time immemorial. Since we see Shishupal, he doesn't digest the Krishna's glories. He doesn't digest the Krishna's fame, name spreading all over the world. And due to enviousness nature, he started criticizing Krishna. And in that process, he is now saying that he does not belongs to the any social principles. He does not have any social orders, family etiquettes, and he does not execute the religious duties. What qualification he has got to deserve the first offerings? Because there are many exalted personalities and there are many great religious principles who follow. They are in this assembly of Rajasuya sacrifice. And out of them, why you have chosen only Krishna? So Srila Prabhupada comments very nicely here. Actually, Shishupal, whenever he is criticizing Krishna, Acharyas give a nice commentary, direct meaning, praising Lord Krishna. Here says, actually Krishna does not belong to any caste or community. He is independent. Nor he have to perform any occupational duty. Like he has set up the Varnashrama institution. What is the goal of Varnashrama? In the Bhagavatam, अतः वर्णाश्रम विभागश स्वानस्तुति धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर हरितोषणम. So the goal of the Varnashrama is to please Lord. And it is not that if he is setting up the Varnashrama institution, he should be also following the Varnashrama rules. No. Just like an example, like when teacher is teaching to the children's, like teacher is on the board, she is writing how to write an alphabet A. It doesn't mean that teacher also is learning, correct? If a teacher is holding the hands of a kid and making kid to write alphabet A, it doesn't mean that teacher is also learning A. It is teaching. She is teaching to the kid. Similarly, a person who took in this who took birth in this material world, he has to follow the varnashrama dharma, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. So, to discharge the prescribed duties, one's own occupation according to caste division order of social life is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It does not mean that, okay, you have to follow, then only we will follow. No. He has given us, because if we follow the rules and regulations of the religious scriptures, then we will be successful, we will be, you know, achieving goal of life. But whereas in this material world, it is not like that. If you follow, if you made a rule, guidelines, you have to show by your example. It is not that, okay, we made today onwards the rule is that everybody should come to Mangalarti. And I say that rule because I made the rule. And if I myself am not coming, I myself not coming to Mangalarti, I myself not chanting, then how can I say that? So it doesn't mix good example. It is contradictory. So when you start something guidelines or rule, you should able to execute it. Then only people will follow. And it is not that we should these rules will apply to Krishna also. No. So we cannot say that okay, Krishna is asking chanting 16 rounds, Manmana Bhavad Bhakto Madhyadi Mam Namaskuru. Krishna is saying that always remember the Lord. We cannot expect to chant Krishna. Krishna, you told me chant 16 rounds. You also chant 16 rounds. Then only we will chant 16 rounds. It is not that, because he is Atma Ram. He doesn't need. But still, he came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there he executed all the duties and the principles of a devotee, how a devotee should behave, and how a devotee should execute. And so here Shishupala is indirectly praising Krishna by saying that he doesn't belong to the any Vedic injection. Yes, because he is a creator. Why should he belong to the some? Why should he belong to the follow the any jurisdiction? And it is true, because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is independent. And one more thing, he's saying he has no good qualities. Yes, he doesn't have qualities of this material nature. A person who is born in this material nature, he has qualities like imperfect senses and committing mistakes, cheating propensities. These are all by nature, it is there. Person who is born in this material nature. But Krishna doesn't have these qualities. And yes, he doesn't. How does he such a person does deserve worshipped? Yeah, he doesn't deserve worship. He does. He deserve the surrender of all souls. It is what is this worship? But Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, he is accepting our service. He is accepting our offerings. He is accepting whatever we offer prayers. And because Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayasati. So whatever you offer, the leaf, water, fruits, food, you should offer with love. It is not that, okay, today nobody brought an apple. Thank you for bringing apple. Nobody, since I'm waiting from the morning, nobody, everybody gave some kind of fruits. We see here they give all kinds of groceries, vegetables, and some people will give banana. Oh, nobody brought an apple, so you brought an apple. Thank you very much. He will eat. No, it's not like that. No, Krishna is. seeing our love and seeing our insincerity. And yes, he, how can such a person deserve such a first offering? He deserves of a complete surrender by all. And, and also, he is showing by example, and he is beyond all the gunas. And because he is sattva guna, Suddha sattva guna. And see, especially he can transgress all the varnashrama institution because he is establishing the religious codes and principles, and his energy can execute that. So Shishupala is indirectly praising Lord Krishna by these words. You know, only a foolish person can think that, oh, Krishna is not following, Krishna is dancing with others' wife, I will also do that. Or Krishna is, not following the principles of religious of Varnashrama, I will also not do that. No. If you do that, then consequence results will be immediately you will get reaction. Just like we see that everybody in the state law should follow the rules of given by the government. Like everybody should stop in the signal red, and they should only move when it is green. If if you don't follow, immediately you'll get a ticket. This is just an example. So no matter if you are created the law, but you should also follow the law. Except when president is coming, then that is different thing. But other than that, even if a president does some illegal activity, he will be get arrested. If president steals something from the neighbor's house, he will get arrested. But Krishna is not like that. He is a butter thief. Because the gopis are praying for Krishna to steal the butter. But externally they are showing off that, oh, Krishna is stealing our butter, Krishna is stealing our milk, yogurt, whatever. But when Krishna does these activities, he is pleasing to the all living entities. When people in general do these activities, people get they get disturbed. They will get irritated by our activities. Krishna, did this thing, I will also do. Krishna danced with somebody's wife, I will also dance. So it is not you can imitate. When you imitate, people get irritated. Just like that. Because see, he's showing that he's beyond all the rules and regulations, and he's independent, and he is devoid of all dharmas. And at the same time, he's showing if somebody is criticizing, and like one should be tolerant enough and do our duty. Like the same pastime, it's not that Krishna is saying because he is Atmaram, he is self sufficient, he doesn't need anybody's glorification. But his devotees also, we see, they are doing this. Like, for example, in the Daksha sacrifice, he's doing sacrifice. When he performed sacrifice, at that time, Lord Shiva was meditating. When Daksha was passing by all the kings, everybody got up and offered obeisances. Dandavat pranam, please accept my humble obeisance. Everybody, all the devatas. But only the two persons did not get up. One is Brahma and another is Lord Shiva. When Brahma did not get up, Daksha was thinking, okay, he is my father. It is okay. He has so much pride in his heart. He's saying he excuses his father. Actually, if his father also gets up, he will feel more puffed up. But his father did not get up. He said, okay, he's my father. And whereas Shiva did not get up, he's closing his eyes and he's meditating. Shiva is father-in-law, sorry, son-in-law of Lord of Daksha. So Daksha's son-in-law Shiva, because he gave his daughter to marriage, Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva did not get up. He thinks as what kind of a person he is. When I am walking, all the great demigods, all the sages, they offer obeisances to me. But this my son-in-law, he did not get up, and that's where he started cursing it. He doesn't belong to the he does not have any home. He's basically homeless. He wanders in graveyard, and he smear his body with ashes, and his friends also, his relatives also, all the ghost, and all kinds of the pisachas. He has his friends, and his hair is also matted. And in such a person, I gave my daughter in marriage. It is a custom. Actually, it is a custom, and it is a guide. It is a rule that whenever um, a father-in-law comes, actually son-in-law should get up and offer respects, because he gave kanyadan. What do you mean? Like, he gave his daughter in charity. It's a respect, of course, that is there. But Lord Shiva did not get up, and he started criticizing one by one, and he was totally equipoised. He did not utter any single word. When he woke up from the meditation, Nandi, his carrier, the bull, he told all these things. Your father in law said you are homeless, your father in law said you are this, you are that. After hearing that, Lord Shiva, okay, did he say it like this? Anyways, he took very light, and he did not care for it, and he went away. So, such a equipoised person, how he can do that? How he did that? If somebody comes to you, say that, oh, so and so person said like this to you. So immediately we will say, oh, who is that person? How dare he said like this? So immediately we may not do any action. We may not say outwards, but internally we start thinking, oh, did he say like this to me? Okay, let me see what will he do. That is the nature of the material people. But because he's always meditation, Lord Shiva, he's always doing meditation on chanting the holy name of Krishna, Rama, the same quality. Whoever praises, whoever defame him, whoever criticize him, doesn't hurts him. So, whereas we see on the other side, Durvasa Muni, when he was invited by Ambarish Maharaj on Dwadasi to take prasadam. Then Durvasa Muni, he went with his disciples take shower in the Ganges. Before he was coming, uh, Ambarish Maharaj, he broke his fasting by taking few drops of water. By hearing this, immediately he got angry, and immediately he released the demon to kill him. So this is a contradictory. A person who is not devoted to the Supreme Lord, he is not tolerating. And on the other hand, we see that Vidura. Vidura was directly criticized by Duryodhana. When Duryodhana heard that Vidura is giving some instructions to his father, Dhritarashtra, so immediately he heard that, and immediately he came, and he was start criticizing his uncle Vidura. You are the servant of the sun, and how can you say this to my father? Immediately, if somebody would have said this, we would have immediately chopped off his head or tongue, and in that way, he's criticizing uncle. So Vidura did not say a single word. He just dropped his bow and arrow near the doorstep, near the threshold, and he left. The one reason is that why he dropped the threshold and arrow, because Duryodhana should not think that I am going to join the party of Pandavas. You know, he should not think that because if somebody is carrying a bow and arrow, that means he is joining the party of other side like Pandavas. That's why Vidura kept his bow and arrow near the threshold where the doorstep is, and he left. So my point is that whoever is following the uh, what you call the instructions of Lord Krishna, thinking of him by taking reading this example, hearing this example, he is equipoised. He is never disturbed by material people criticize or material people praising him. He is totally equipoised. Srila Prabhupada, we see in this example, though Srila Prabhupada is praised by all the great people, but still he is equipoised because whatever uh, praise, whatever achievements, whatever glorification he was getting, he is just transferring to his Guru, Krishna, and not to himself. And whatever criticization is coming from his god brothers, from Gaudiya Vaishnava, Gaudiya Math, he is just ignoring that because he could able to do that just because he has unalloyed devotional service, unalloyed and uninterrupted devotional service to the Lord. So when you get absorbed in some activity, and no matter how many people they criticize, and you don't care for their criticism, you don't care for their praise, you don't care for their glorification. Here, Lord Krishna is showing an example in the material world. We get to face these people and how we should be equipped. And whenever a demon criticizes Krishna, Acharyas writes a commentary exactly which is supported by the Puranas and Vedas. So yes, here Shishupala is saying that he does not follow the religious duties. Yes, he doesn't have to follow the religious duties. And he has no good qualities. Yes, does not have good qualities of this material, so-called good qualities of this material world. He is nirguna, he is sattva guna, he is suddha sattva guna, and he does not deserve the first worship. And it is not his first worship. He doesn't care for the first worship because if you chant his name, if you offer your service to Krishna, if you execute the religious principles, you will become purified. It is not Krishna will become purified, or Krishna is hungry for your apple, or Krishna is not hungry for your praise. If you don't, for example, if somebody is not chanting, it is not Krishna's power is minimizing day by day. Just like we see that if he doesn't keep up our body fit by taking proper food, we will become weak day by day. We can see an example Ekadasi, those who are fasting without water, those who are fasting without eating any Ekadashi prasadam. We see their energy is decreasing day by day. They cannot work. But it is not Krishna that if you don't chant, if you don't offer service, if you don't do follow the religious principle, it's not Krishna's power is decreasing day by day. No, it is for our purification to purify our existence, to identify ourselves, to establish relationship between the living entity and Lord. We need to get purify ourselves so that what is the benefit to enjoy eternal blissful knowledge and happiness, because in this material world you don't get eternal blissful, you don't feel eternal happiness, you don't feel eternal knowledge, because we are lacking for that. All living entities in this material world is lacking only one thing: love of Godhead. If you have love of Godhead, you don't need anything in this material world. No matter whoever praises you, no matter whoever defames you, no matter whoever criticize you, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't, you don't get hurt by that. If if you have a love of Godhead, you know then immediately you will have everything in this material world. Just like we see an example, a boy fell in love with a girl, or girl fell in love with a boy. A girl will do anything for the boy, and vice versa. And boy will do anything for the girl. Correct? He doesn't see time, place, circumstances. Oh, it's a night time. If a girl give him a message or a missed call, can you please come? So immediately he runs. He doesn't see the time, he doesn't see the place, he doesn't see the circumstances where he's in. Immediately runs. Because what is that attraction? Is love. So love is attracting. That's why gopis, in the middle of the night, when Krishna is playing the flute, immediately they woke up from their beds and they gone. They went to Krishna. It is not that gopis are saying, okay, it's not Brahma Murta yet, why you are playing the flute? It's not in the middle of the night, why you are playing the flute? It's disturbing our sleep. Don't you see we have our household duties? Don't you see our husband is beside us? Don't you see we have to take care of our children? We don't you see social custom is not allowing. Why you are playing the flute? Gopis did not say that. The complete surrenderness. Just like if we change some timings of the temple program, from tomorrow onwards we will have 2 o'clock Mangalarti. Immediately you say, why? What is it? Immediately it's get disturbing. So otherwise, and other thing, like if you hear blowing of the conch shell in the middle of the night, immediately it says, who blew the conch shell in the middle of the night? You know, they don't. Where the gopis, they don't ask these questions. That is fully surrender. Whenever Krishna calls, they are ready to do. No, they say the word, just do it. Actually, it applies here, not ad of some shoes. Whatever Krishna says, they just do it. They don't see place, time, circumstances, and which social custom. They immediately surrender everything. They leave the place and they go surrender. Just like a boy goes everything. So here, that should be the main theme of devotee, like surrenderness and execution of Krishna's duty. Srila Prabhupada, he did not think that, oh, now I am 60 plus, 70 plus, how can I preach this mission of the Lord? He did not think that. He did it because he order was given from his spiritual master, and he has successful, obviously. Similarly, when you have a love of Godhead, you will do anything and everything. You don't ask why, what. Now we have our in the program scheduling. Of course, it is to there to our help us to get systematic. But they don't have gopis don't have a schedule. Okay, today is Monday. I will go for Rasa Leela dance. Tomorrow is Tuesday. You go. Tomorrow is Thursday. You go. They don't have schedule for the Krishna's timetable. Whenever Krishna calls, they don't see schedule. They just leave everything. They run because that is the love. So material world people, they don't have love of Godhead. That's why they're struggling. So to get the love of Godhead, we need to go under this process, cleansing ourselves. Just like we take shower every day, we brush our teeth every day, we clean ourselves every day. To for what? For our own benefit. Similarly, to execute these principles of dharma, religious principles like varnashram dharma or family dharma or any dharma, for ultimately to please Krishna. So here we see that these religious principles, to execute religious principle, we need to follow the codes of dharmas, And in order to follow that, we need scriptures and we need guidance. That's why we follow the principles, like, to cleanse our identity so that we will get a love of Godhead. And we cannot go beyond, or we cannot super, we cannot transgress these rules and regulations, and we expect love of Godhead. No, it will not come. Just like we, if we don't control our senses, still we will need a love of Godhead. It doesn't allow that. We need to control our senses and engage our senses in Krishna's service. Then we will get a love of Godhead. Just like following four regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds, and execution devotional principles, religious, and reading books, hearing Bhagavatam, and doing service. So ultimately, we should think what is the goal of all this activity, to get the love of Godhead. Not that to show off. Oh, I'm doing this for last you know 40 years, 20 years, 30 years. No, we cannot um, do material calculation to show Krishna. Krishna, I have been chanting 16 rounds from 2 decades. So now it's your duty to give me love of Godhead. No, it doesn't work like that. It has Krishna sees your intention. Of course, you get a benefit of chanting 16 rounds, but you cannot demand like material calculation. Okay, I put this much efforts, I need the results like this. Of course, you'll get a result, but not as you demand, as Krishna's will. That's why he is independent, does not follow the religious principles. He's totally independent. So that is, and he does not follow any dharma because he's independent. Okay. So we will pause here. You see any discussions, comments on this?
Thank you for the class, Prabhu. Um, you said we can't calculate our, our progress materially. So sometimes, it's like you can't see your progress, because you can't calculate it materially. So it's like a transcendental calculation.
Yes.
Is that what it is? I mean, how can you see your advancement? You know?
See, Srila Prabhupada says nobody has to give you a certificate that you are become a devotee. You yourself can understand. You yourself give you a certificate for yourself. You know, it is just like you can ask yourself, I am able to control my senses from sense object. I am able to follow the regulative principles. I am able to chant 16 rounds without any distraction. I am able to execute the orders of spiritual master. I am able to do the, did I, my attraction towards Krishna is increasing day by day or decreasing day by day? That you can ask yourself. Srila Prabhupada says, nobody has to give you a certificate. Okay, so and so devotee, you have achieved this sense controlship. Just like Bhakti Shastri, we give certificate. Nobody has to give you a certificate. It is self-assessment. You can ask yourself. That's why we need to have self-assessment with our own self, and we should take the shelter of our guru and Siksha Guru and the sadhus. No, then you'll get a clear picture. One thing we can understand, is that his attraction towards Krishna is increasing or decreasing? That you can ask yourself. Increasing means increasing of devotional service. It can be chanting, like 16 rounds is a minimum. It is not that you should stop at 16 rounds. After 16 rounds of chanting, whether your mind says chant more or your mind says okay, done for the day. Next day till next day I don't have to touch the bead bag. So you ask yourself, if it is yes, then it is increasing. If it is no, then how, what you should do? You should ask, okay, I should hear more, or I should read more, or I should do seva more, or I should ask my mentor, or I should ask my Siksha Guru what to do that. So aim of life is should be please Krishna due to our activities, not that okay I chanted 16 rounds for so many years, then I need this benefit. That is material calculation, right? Like we put interest in the bank, CDs, CDs in the bank. So they deposit, we deposit huge amount in the CDs, and for certain years there is a terms and condition also. If you keep your money for certain years, you will get an interest. If you break that, you don't get an interest. It's not here like this. You will get a benefit, but ultimate benefit is love of God. If you are not getting love of God after 16 rounds, okay, after my service, okay, I will stop here. We don't have to do 16 rounds till next day, or we don't have to chant, or we don't have to hear, we don't have to read. So, this is a self examination or self assessment. How do you deal with the situation? If it is on your own, then you understand, and nobody has to. That's why, we should not depend the people's praise or people's criticism on this material world. Today, people may say you, oh, you are such a nice devotee, blah blah blah. You will get puffed up, and tomorrow, the same person will say you don't know how to chant 16 now, or you don't know how to wear dhoti, for example, or you don't know how to do the service. The same person may praise, the same person may criticize. You will get disturbed. Correct. So that's the reason we should not depend on, or we should not be so absorbed, or we should not be so inclined towards material praises and happiness. That's why it's called Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhada. Agama Payino Nityastam Sitikshasva Bharata. Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhada. So happiness, distress come and go. We should able to tolerate by the help of Krishna's mercy. It's only because of Krishna's mercy and with our proper execution of devotional service, proper attitude. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, the criticism of Shishupal that Lord Krishna is independent and that takes him outside of the realm of following religious principles. Um, you brought up the point that indeed Krishna is independent, so it would seem like Shishupal's argument is correct, but you can actually question that because actually because Krishna is coming to re-establish religious principles when there's been a decline, then actually the actions he performs are to strengthen religious principles. So if he's doing killing, it's not murder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's in order to strengthen religious principles and wipe out irreligion. So it's not quite clear that Shishupal's argument is correct.
Yeah, as I said, he actually, Lord Krishna follows the religious principles, but due to the enviness of Shishupal, he couldn't see that. You know, as a Kshatriya king, he would follow all the Kshatriya dharma, Kshatriya's codes and conduct. But Shishupal is so envy that he couldn't see that, because as a king he protected the cities of Dwaraka. That's why he put Dwaraka in the middle of the ocean. And another thing is that he follows the, like, when he wakes up in the morning, he meditates on himself. We see in the Krishna book reading. So he meditated on himself, and there are things that he follows, and he's by birth he's a Kshatriya. He born to the Vasudha and Devaki, and later he moved to the mercantile community, business community, that Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and so he followed the principles. But the thing is that the Shishupal's meaning is that he does not have proper father mother. Like he has a once he says that I'm the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and sometimes he says that and I'm son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Actually, it's a material calculation. One sense that he's a born, and he belongs to certain parents. Actually, he's a supreme father and mother. He doesn't, but he too show of the material people. That's why he's in that. But ultimately, he's independent to do anything. But again, coming to the Shishupala's evil's nature, Shishupala's evil nature is Shishupala doesn't want Krishna to be, you know, on the throne of the highest. Just like I gave in the beginning example, the insects which does not have cover. Whenever the one insect is going on, immediately pulls it out. So similarly, Shishupala couldn't, by birth he has envy of Krishna. Now it's coming out with a full potency, because he could able to see Krishna is ascending. He's going to take up the throne of first offerings in front of his eyes. He couldn't see that. Due to that, he's speaking these words that you are not a varnashrama follower. You don't have varnashram dharma. Actually, he went to Gurukul also. We see in Sandipani Muni's ashram. So this is my comment. Thank you. Anyone has any questions? You have? No. Thank you so much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.